The pelvic clock. Last week in Holistic Movement with me, I performed the pelvic clock, and I got a comment from Ludmila Bakinskaya 8905. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong. And they asked, when I transition from all the times, do I come into an anterior and posterior tilt? And my answer is yes, and I'm going to show you in a second. I just want to go into a little bit more depth about the pelvic clock, why it's beneficial, and why you should be practicing it many times a week. It was developed by Moshe Feldenkrais, which is awareness through movement. And the purpose of it is to bring mobility into the pelvis, which affects the femurs and the lower back. So it's so wonderful in bringing proprioception, sensitivity, nice butterfly, with the lower back and the pelvis. Not only that, most people, and especially men, cannot feel their pelvises. We grow up in a majority of societies where it's frowned upon as men to move the pelvis in an extravagant way, to put it politely. Now, it's not only men, a lot of women are not in touch with their pelvis as well. And women who have just given birth lose a lot of touch with their pelvis, and a lot of pain, prolapse uteruses, all of this. So let me show you first the mechanics of it. I want you to look at my pelvis. So I'm going to show you the side view. So let's say I come into 12 o'clock. Because remember, with the pelvic clock, your belly button is 12 o'clock. This is 3 o'clock. Your junk, pubic bone, is 6, and this is 9. So we're going to transition and draw a clock. Imagine a clock sitting on top of your belly, and it's facing upwards. So watch, I'm going to come into 12 o'clock. My pelvis comes into an anterior tilt. Then I press down my left butt cheek, and I come into 3 o'clock. Then I go into pubic bone, 6 o'clock, and then I go into 9 o'clock. So I'm doing this. So posterior, anterior, posterior, anterior, posterior, and let's say I reverse it, anterior. Let me show you the side view so you can see this. Now, before I get into that side view, my feet are hip width apart, and I'm going to bring the bottom of my feet together. I'm going to keep my arms right here. That way you can see my lower back. So I'm going to imprint my lower back. I'm going to try to push my lower back into the floor. So I push down with my belly. This is a posterior tilt of the pelvis. Then I exert pressure with down into my left butt cheek, and I tilt it to my pelvis to the left. Then from 3 to 6, I come into anterior tilt, and 6 to 9, anterior tilt. So think about this. From 9 o'clock up to 3 o'clock, it's posterior tilt. Then when I go from 3 to 9, I'm in anterior tilt. Now, one thing that I need to point out is that this is not only a great exercise to bring proprioception, the fancy word for sensitivity, into the pelvis and lower back, but it's also an opportunity for you to feel where and if you're holding any stuckage. So when you do this position, close your eyes and feel, okay, from what time to what time is it kind of stuck? I just feel something's pulling. I don't have a smooth transition. For me, it's from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock. I can feel it. There's a muscle called the obturator that I know that's stuck in there. So I'm later on let the ball release this, and then I'm going to do the pelvic clock again and see if I released it. So that's one of the reasons why I start pretty much every workout with a pelvic clock, or I have clients do it to see where they're holding in the pelvis, and then you reverse direction. Okay? All right, I hope I answered your question. Thank you.